Hi, everyone. This is Ro from Ro's Kitchen, and I want to introduce you to Ullenka. And she is going to talk to us about her journey with plant-based and give you some fantastic information as well as fill you in on her journey herself. So everyone, this is Ullenka. She is currently living in Poland, her home country. But she has a very interesting story to share. So, Ullenka, can you first tell us how you got started being plant-based?
Hello, everyone. I have a big pleasure to be here, and thank you so much for having me. And if I can put in one sentence or like two sentences how I got into plant-based, the short story is that I approached in my life some critical moments when my kids had been sick and it was really bad. And a plant-based diet was a way to get out of this problem and to help my kids. So while helping my kids, I got the benefit of not only healing them, but also changing a lot about myself, discovering amazing way of thriving and just being better person, better version of myself, taking care of myself. I've learned so much. I'm very grateful for actually this whole problem happening to me about 5 years ago. So that's how I got into plant-based.
Oh, that's fantastic. You know, that's funny because I've been plant-based for about 5 or 6 years now too. So
Okay.
It's interesting how we come across that through health issues. So yeah. So I was watching your video on your website, which is really interesting. So tell us a little bit about the travel, what your main purpose was with being plant-based. I know that you talk a lot on your website about eczema.
Yes. I am mom of 3 kids. And when my kids had been born, they were born completely healthy, all of them, all 3 of them. And they are 3 years apart, about 3 years apart. So each time they were born, my kids, each of my kids, they were completely fine. And some problems started a little later, like eczema started to show about 4 months old. And I also have child with autism. So all 3 of my kids are dealing with lots of issues. And that was very interesting. Once my youngest was born, I decided not to do vaccinations because I discovered that there is something fishy there. Even though he was not vaccinated, he still was starting to have eczema. So this was a big red light for me. What's going on? So I started to dig deep in my own history, and I discovered that me and 3 of my kids have candida issues. And this has led me to discovering a lot of things and about detoxing and how the diet can help. So my journey with diet started even earlier than 5 years ago. So it took me about 4 years to find out that plant-based diet is the key. So that's how we gotten into plant-based diet from like really trying everything out there possible. There are several different diets to battle candida issues. Candida used to be a big thing, right? A few years ago. And traveling became a part of finding a way to keep ourselves motivated and also to make our life more interesting. And I found and discovered that sunshine and living in especially tropical countries has magnificently improved my kids' healing. So we decided first to take a road trip across Europe, all the way to Portugal. So we spent some time in Spain, first before Spain, a little bit in Italy, then Spain, there was Portugal. And during our time in Portugal, my kids, like a miracle happened. My kids showed a huge improvement. My daughter actually healed from eczema there after 5 months of plant-based diet. And then when we came back to our country for winter, I noticed that they are showing some reverse symptoms again. So I connected the sunshine and lack of sunshine. And because we gotten into a car accident on our way back from Portugal. I decided to use the money from the insurance, because we had the insurance on the car, and purchased tickets, and we flew to Thailand for to spend there
Wow.
1 year and a half in Thailand, because I had this calling in my heart that the tropics are the answer. And it had been such a great decision. I never had any regrets. It was amazing. And since then, we just love to be somewhere, always a little bit on the go, and looking into new journeys, and spending some time abroad, just learning new culture, everything. Life is just beautiful, not only helping the health, but it's also like, pure enjoyment. And being eczema free and free of, I can say my boy is completely healed of autism. He still is showing a little bit autistic, like he is very shy and sometimes very sensitive. Sometimes he is a little bit withdrawn, like just a little bit. But I believe that his healing will be accomplished in a couple of years, because I'm still continuing the path. So traveling with kids that are healthy, it's very easy, and living with the kids that are healthy, it's very easy compared to where I was 5 years ago. So this is like our inspiration.
So the kids love to travel?
Oh, yes, they do. They are, I think they learned to just that the world is so beautiful and accessible. And today it's easier than probably years ago, because you can do a lot of research on internet. We have found ways to travel on a low budget. So I do sometimes voluntary work. You can house sit. You can do a lot of things to make it very low cost for you, affordable, yes. So that's how we mostly found our places, reaching out to people and finding someone who actually has the house that it's available, and we could kind of get a good deal on it.
So does that mean you homeschool?
Yes, we do. We homeschool our kids, and it's been so great as well. I think we decided with my husband we're not going to put our kids back to school again. It's just for the reason of the freedom, and for the reason of the amazing way that my kids learn. My kids were able to learn 2 languages, so they speak fluently in the 2 languages, and they learn whenever we live in different countries, they learn a bit of those languages as well. My kids learned to discover things by themselves and to learn on their own. So like last weekend, my daughter discovered a Chinese book or something, and she started to pull out the Chinese letters and took some pains and learned the names of the whole family members in Chinese, and told us to the meanings of those names. So like, this is what the homeschooling is all about, the natural drive for knowledge and learning. Yes.
That is great. So give us an idea of what you feed your kids, what they eat on a daily basis. How do you start your day?
Yes, so pretty much my kids eat a lot of fruit, like really a lot of fruit. And fruit, I discover, is one of the best medicine. It's one of the best foods that we can have, because it's water and nutrition combined together. It's very safe to eat because it doesn't have bacteria like vegetables. You have to be more careful with them.
Oh, okay.
So fruit, it's like really easy to eat on the go. You like banana is like easy package. You just open it and you just have it. So it's the fastest food on earth. And because it's sweet and soft and it's yummy, so there's like no questions. My kids start their day with big watermelon, the big watermelon bowl, and they love it. And they usually have a few portions until lunchtime. They pretty much can gobble up the whole big watermelon by themselves. And then later it depends. Each of them has different needs and flavors. So they just pretty much they eat fruit towards the evening, and in the evening we cook sometimes, or we eat raw salads. We base our diet only solely on vegetables and fruits. I do use sometimes some grains, but I sprout them and I use them like once a week, just for the sake of staying still safe and careful, because I don't want to go back there where I was.
Yeah, yeah.
So don't want to ruin the work that I've done.
Yeah, I remember in the video that you mentioned that you used to eat chocolate and oil and bread and pasta, right?
Yes, yes.
And
Well,
now you
that's
don't eat it.
regular diet in Europe, and
Oh, okay.
it's very popular here to have like lots of potatoes, and usually with meat. Usually there's lots of fat in it, and this is also due to the climate we're living in. So that's why this diet looks like this. But when on top of that we started to have an abundance of processed foods and the sugars and the stuff that's really unhealthy, and our body can't really recognize what's that anymore, right? Because when you have the bar that it's made out of something, our body doesn't know what's in it. It's just too much processed.
Yeah.
So this just changes so much, and that's why I feel like the most simple diet we can eat, the better. That's why
And
we
do you
just
ever get people ask you, so where do you get your protein? I hear that.
oh
so many
yes,
times.
yes. This is
What
like
do you
the
tell
first
them?
question. My diet is a bit extreme compared to most people who eat plant-based, but I follow the diet. It's called raw vegan, and it's probably familiar already. So many people know
Oh,
it's
yeah.
it's a little bit extreme way, but raw vegan diet is very powerful, and for some time it's very good to adopt that to allow body to recover, heal, repair things, just restart everything, right? And the protein question comes very often because we look like we don't eat any, right? And there is I usually answer with one simple thing. I just say, have you ever heard of diet that it's not sufficient in protein or fats? That is like not possible. We can have like some nutrition deficiencies sometimes, but protein is everywhere and in enough in sufficient amount, and a handful of nuts gives the amount of protein we need for the day. So we use hemp seeds, we use some sunflowers, some pumpkin seeds, they're amazing, and even the watermelon seeds have great amount of protein in them, and iron and other things. So you are crunching in the watermelon and you get nutrition there.
So you eat the watermelon seeds?
Of course.
In the US, we all spit them out.
See, so that's something that Thai people on the instance I never saw, that they even make snacks out of watermelon seeds. You can purchase watermelon seeds in a package.
Wow. And what can
And
you
they're
eat with
tasty.
watermelon? Oh, so
They're
you
tasty.
do you use any salt or spices in your food?
Yes, we use, whenever we make salad, I like to use tiny bit of salt. I think that, and I believe that being too extreme is not,
Yeah.
you don't have to be that extreme. Well, sometimes people just choose to, that's fine. When I feel like I need a little bit of salt, I will use some Himalayan salt or some sea salt, just a little bit to just get some. Yes.
Excellent. That is so great. So what are you up to now? What's your new project or endeavor that you're doing?
The journey with my kids has given me a lot of experience, and it became my passion to start helping others, because I just have received so many emails and I'm receiving messages, questions. So I kind of started doing little things here and there first, like blog and my Instagram, and sharing whatever I'm doing, sharing my recipes. Then it all came to a decision about writing a book. So I created some ebooks, and they are very helpful for someone who wants to try to do the same as we did. Tell me
some names before you tell me what you're doing right now. Tell me some names of your books. So we'd be interested in looking at your books.
Okay. So my book title is The Fruit Cure. It's just because the fruit cured my kids. So that's it. That's the point. And the second book, because the fruit cure is all about raw diet in actual process there, but there I decided to write a book about a little bit transition before that. So people, especially adults who are not ready, can go through some process to prepare for the raw diet. And that book is called Green Fix.
What is it called?
Green Fix.
Green Fix.
Yes,
awesome.
I am Polish, and I learned, I'm a self-learner, and English is my second language. So please forgive me all the little mistakes. I'm doing my best.
You're doing.
Yeah, I know.
I want to look at the book Green Fix because I've always wanted to incorporate raw days in my week, and I think inspired me now to go ahead and start doing that. So I love
the Green Fix ebook is teaching how to eat a very easy diet full of vegetables and fruit, because there's lots of cooked food in it, but it's the way it's prepared and the way the foods combined is healing for you. So it's not the kind of food that will be too heavy and too hard. It's just already healing diet. So after having experience with my readers, because I have a group on Facebook, then I support the readers there. I do some free trainings in there in the group, and I decided to start programs, because I know that the direct contact with me, when someone really lead through the woods, out of the woods, through the whole path, and help them, because everyone is so different, and sometimes we are so in our own world, like we can't get out by ourselves. So there is necessary to sort of like step by step help someone with their beginnings, especially. So I started to do the group programs, and I am right now very close to ending my, it's a 4-month program, so it's almost finished. And I'm having a few ladies who joined this group. They are very close to having their eczema solved. And some of them are still taking more time. For adult, it takes a little longer than that, so they need to still work on it. And up to a year, it's really taking a lot of work first. And then it just kind of rolls itself. So soon I will be sharing the results of the program, and I'm very excited because I see people who came to me very sick and lost, and they didn't know what to do anymore, and now they have the plan, they have their new life again, and they of course have to sacrifice something, but they are just on another journey here, and I think it's worth it, even though you can't, for example, eat bread. What's that, right? That's fine.
Nice. Well, that is really, really exciting. I love this. I'm going to definitely check out. What is the name of your Facebook group?
My Facebook group has the same name as my book. So the group is called The Fruit Cure.
Okay.
And my website, and everywhere I try to simplify everything everywhere about me on the internet. So Ullenka is the name. So you look Ullenka and everything is Ullenka, like Instagram and Facebook. So it's easy to find me.
Well, we definitely want to start following you, because that is so exciting. And I can't wait to get your book. I'm going to definitely, as soon as we hang up, I'm going to look up the Green Fix and check that out. Yeah.
I'll be very happy.
I do love to incorporate a raw day, and I'm not doing it enough. And maybe even I'll start with a raw week and see where I go from there. I just love the concept. So that sounds really cool.
Yeah, my approach. Yes.
Go ahead.
I just want to say that my approach lately is very gentle. So like if you want to do it, I always advise take it like really slowly and not really pushing too much. So it doesn't become too hard, because then we don't want to do it again. So it's rather of incorporating in something that we enjoy. And then when we see the results of that, we follow more. That's how it's better.
That's true. That's true. So that sounds good. I'm going to definitely look into that. I love to cook. That's my thing now.
Oh, that's incredible. If you do, then this is just for you.
Oh, good. Because I have a following for cooking, and I do tons of recipes, but I'm going to get more into see what you have. So I'd like to share that. That sounds fantastic. So Ullenka, I appreciate so much your being here. And thank you again. And we look forward to what's coming in your future, and we'll be following you. And I want to thank you again. Have a wonderful day.
And you too. And just to end the interview, I will just give a little sneak peek for what's really coming fun for us and fun for maybe someone who wants to follow the journey further with my kids. In about 3.5 weeks, we are flying out to Panama and going to spend winter there. So it's going to be another journey. I'm excited to, like, I don't know how even to explain, because it's just confirmed a few days ago. And my kids are very excited too, because it's a new country and new continent. It's for us something completely different that we ever done. So
do you plan, I'm going to keep going for a minute. Do you plan trips very far in advance so you have everything mapped out?
Like, I already found a house. It's a very interesting story that I asked people in the group, and someone reached out to me, and they have their house available because they don't go. So we made a deal on the house. So I have the house at the beach, and we're just gonna live there for 6 months. Like, I'm the luckiest person on the whole planet, because this just was like a magic that happened. And now I'm just figuring out the way from the airport, because we already bought the tickets. So we kind of figuring out how to get there. It's a kind of 2-day journey to get there. So it's going to be pretty interesting.
And how does your husband deal with all this? Is he happy that you're going, like, does he find little jobs everywhere you go?
We do a lot of online work. So we have some online services that we do, and we also rent our house. So when we leave, we already rent, and then, so this kind of supports, plus my work already here. So this supports our travels. No, and just always making it work. So if there will be a need to work here and there, we can always be English teachers. We can always help out somewhere. And then, we always ready to do some work, some extra work, because it does take some extra work. Yes.
Yeah. That is so interesting. That's not something everybody would do. That's for sure. But
probably, yes.
It's very inspirational. That's for sure. Very inspirational. My gosh,
it's worth it.
So
it's worth it. If you try it once, it's worth it, because we made it work couple of times already, and I know I will always make it work. And when you believe that, you're going to be fine. Well, it takes some inconvenience and temporary sacrifice, takes some planning, some extra getting out of your comfort zone, and making I'd be okay if I have to sleep a little bit not comfortably, and not have this or not have that, and just a little bit even be hungry sometimes for a couple of hours, because I just don't have regular base. So if someone is okay with that, they can probably be all right.
Yeah. See, most people would think that's great for a single person, but for a family to do it, it's very extraordinary, I think. And I think
it's a little bit tricky. Yeah, there are people who do that, I think, not many, and it's still possible. And it's easier now because my kids are independent, so they are 6 years up. Yeah, they are 6, 9, and 12. So it's much easier now than it used to be. Yeah. But it still was doable, so yeah.
I hope you keep a journal about these travels, because this would make a great movie.
Oh, we're sharing a lot of things on YouTube and Instagram. We wish to have more time, because it's just so time consuming to do those things. But I share on my Instagram a lot of things daily, and on my Facebook. So it's the best place to follow the journey. And I think I will keep a lot of recordings, because this is a great tip from you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, definitely. It would make a great movie. And on Instagram, are you under Ullenka there too?
Yes, Ullenka with a little line. The how you call that line? Underscore. Yeah.
Okay. Good. I'll look you up, and you'll see my name following you soon.
Yes, sure. I'm so excited too.
Wonderful.
All right.
Thank you again. It was super exciting. Bye now.
For me too. Bye-bye. Thank you, everyone.